I have a question. Guys. So sort of to close us out, our final topic will be: where do you think the market will be? Where do you think the market will be, and how will we fit into that market moving forward? So let's just say in our crystal ball that this thing gets solved, second quarter of next year. Okay, second quarter of next year.
Okay,
people get their act together and they either mask up and sort of defeat it, the old-fashioned way, or we actually get a vaccine. So either or. February, March of next year, we're talking. What does the geek world look like, and how do we fit in? I'll start with you, Wendell.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually a very good, thoughtful question. I would probably say maybe 5-6 months from now. I honestly don't feel even with the easing of lockdowns, I don't feel that people are going to be courageous enough yet, no matter how passionate fans they are, to go to any public conventions anytime soon. So here's my take, and I'm not just talking about here in the Philippines, but all over the world too. Here's my personal take. I think a lot of the services that these cons usually employ whenever they hold these live conventions in person, I think they're going to start doing them through a lot of either mail-in or virtual platforms. Because I was actually looking up Wizard World online. Wizard World, they set up their own cons throughout the U.S. Separate from Repop Entertainment, which does New York Comic Con. I saw that they've actually started doing some virtual online Q&A forums where you could, for a price, you pay to actually, chat or ask questions to some of your favorite celebrities, like Gary Busey from the bad guy from Lethal Weapon. Among a few
Gary
people
Busey.
I have seen.
I'm sorry.
Gary Busey.
Yeah, I mean,
pay to see Gary Busey.
I'm sorry, Gary. I was being rude.
Yeah, I like pictures really weird, funny face.
In all of his teeth,
man.
Yeah.
I get to meet Gary Busey?
No, not yet.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I wish. He's my idol.
Yeah.
I mean, those, like Q&A, and some of these Q&A virtual programs, for an additional price, you can actually ask these guys personally if you would like to, if you would like for them to mail to you your their autograph. And I haven't entertained the thought of doing that just yet.
That's interesting.
For me, it's not quite the same as seeing them in flesh and blood.
Oh, it's not.
If things persist the way they are for another while, I may get to that point. And aside from those virtual program activities that I think these con organizers have been doing as an alternative way to touch base with the with fans and the whole geek pop cultural market as a whole, I think I personally think geekdom and passion for anything pop culture it's still, the market and the love for it is still going to go on. And I feel guys, I was going to let you know, I was actually looking up the sites of some Star Wars actors who have been they've actually been making a kind of like a sideline hobby or business to mail out autographs of theirs, in which you can actually
it's already starting.
Yeah, you can actually write to them what you would like for them, what exact words you would like for them to write on any on any autograph that you choose from their website. Guys, I just ordered the autographs for Jabba the Hutt, Toby Philpott. He's the puppet, one of the four puppeteers for Jabba the Hutt. No joke. This guy, and this dude, he was so cool and so nice that I actually personally emailed. he actually does check his own personal email as listed on his website, and I told him, "Oh,
You emailed Jabba the Hutt?
Yes, I did. Ho 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 ho."
He's like, Wooka Tuka. Signed autograph. Autograph.
You get it and you like wipe off the slime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to like feed him like those space slugs just to please him, just to beg him to send me an autograph. But yeah, I mean, he is such a cool dude. I mean, I told him that I couldn't decide which autograph that I wanted to choose from the ones listed from the autograph photos.
Did they have Funko Pops? Did they have Funko Pops?
Funko Pops? I did not see any, but he might possibly start, giving them out at some point.
Okay. So Noel.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, just to go off of like Wendell was talking about, have you guys ever heard of Cameo.com?
I think
Cameo.com? No.
Okay. This thing has been around for a few years, and I just found out about it a few months ago. It's a site where pretty much there's some top level celebrities on here. You select a celebrity and you pay them a fee, and they send you a personal message based on your request.
What? That's awesome.
I'm not kidding. If you guys have a web browser up, you can just go here, Cameo.com, and you can just like tell Michael Jordan to tell you stuff.
No way.
It's like a real thing. Yeah.
Oh shit.
That could probably get sick real fast. It's like
yeah, exactly. So going off of what Wendell's been saying, this stuff is already in existence, but it's gonna like boom.
Damn.
And just from like what the industry is gonna look like, aside from that, the obvious stuff, the online infrastructure is gonna be huge. Like retail and all of these things, how the celebrities are surviving. Oh, believe me, celebrities are surviving. Have you seen Arnold Schwarzenegger's donkey on Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, the cute little dude.
Things like that.
His little horse.
He has like two cute little ones over his farm.
Yeah, it's like a tiny horse and a donkey. Yes.
They're
He has a horse.
It's over the internet fast. Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because he's so big. Yeah, he's so big, and he's like, I want a small donkey. It's like.
Yeah. So they're gonna survive in that sort of way.
To you. Yeah.
But like everything else, like movie theaters and events, I think they will come back next year. But it's like the Conan thing, the strongest will survive.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like it's a shame, but I'm just thinking that the majority of the small events might not come back, but like the big ones. And big is a relative term because I don't know how big you have to be to survive this sort of thing. Because like
I was going to ask. I mean, how do you think they're going to be able to effectively, do a crowd control? Because if they're only going to say they could permit like maybe a total of say,
it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I remember I was at SDCC and Thor came out. So Thor comes out at the Marvel booth, and like people went crazy. Then it was and then Hulk came out, and people went nuts. And then a couple like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came out, and it got to the point where they were like, okay, celebrities, whoever the hell's back there, stay back there. We cannot control it. And like I lost the people I was with, and it was amazing. But it was part of the memory wasn't that I was literally arms away from Thor and Hulk. This is like for Ragnarok. And a couple like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people. It wasn't the fact that I was so close. It was the fact that I was validated in my fan fever by all the people I was around, even though they all stunk and didn't use deodorant. I can still smell the must. But like that's part of the
until
memory.
Now, it's like 3 years later.
Yeah, it's like remember the visceral experience where we all like lost our collective minds and like they did like a whole like Walking Dead like Thor, but that's part of the industry. But this is what I think. I think that there's going to be a lot more virtual. I think that Facebook is going to work out there. This is why Facebook bought Oculus. I think Facebook is going to figure out a way to sort of make Oculus a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable. They're going to push it out. They already have the Oculus, for
dude. Fred, you're like all into Apple products, right? You love it, right? You got like an iPhone. Apple Glass the Apple glasses are rumored to come out in 2021, dude. Mid 2021.
Really?
Wow.
I bet
So
they'll
that's
leave it
gonna
out.
be like Apple is gonna go all in on this thing.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be the same thing that we have right now. This is a case study for what's going to be in the future. I think the whole virtual Comic-Con is already being pushed right now. It's not that big of a deal because people want that like crowd experience. They want to they want it to feel real. They want to be in the room. Okay, even if they can't be in the room with everyone all musty, they still want to be in the room. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to get virtual experiences where there's like a VR like bulb or something. Everyone's going to be able to log on to that VR bulb. The actors are going to be on their stage like normal, and then we're just going to type in our questions. And if you're a premium member or whatever, your questions get asked ahead of everyone else's. There's like different tiers of sort of sort of connectivity, and because of that, you're going to be able to be at these various premieres
I definitely see that happening.
Q&As.
I see that happening. I mean, this is it's part of the new normal, at least for the time being.
That's how the Snyder Cut was announced. Do you guys know how the Snyder Cut was announced? Zack Snyder held a Man of Steel watch party like 3 days ago, and one fan asked him when this and one fan asked him when the Snyder Cut was going to come out, and he answered, "It is going to come out on HBO Max." He just dropped it right there. Yeah. So the thing that Fred is already talking about is already happening
I think
in an infantile way.
I think VR.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just the beginning, basically.
Yeah, the beginnings
once they add VR to it. Yeah. Once they throw VR into it, and then by doing that, they're going to have to make VR a lot cheaper. Maybe come out with a better version of Google Cardboard, where it's a lot more form-fitting. The resolution's better, and we can start getting. And I think the smaller cons, like I'm not going to mention. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. But the smaller cons that really made pockets full of pills a business. I think those are going to go away because more than the large cons, the small cons have been the bread and butter of indie creators. Indie creators are like, hey man, I can save up and be part of 3 or 4 major cons, but I can make it a business by going to all these smaller, $100 a table, $75 a table events where I can turn around and make considerably more than that, So I don't know where indie creators are going to fit into it, but I think the whole fan experience that made cons amazing are going to go VR.
That's I see that. Like I said, I see that happening, and that seems to be like the best practical way for for people to still get a feel of the whole crowd excitement. Notion of being together in the same room and cheering in unison for your favorite stars and your favorite characters of some of your favorite shows and movies and whatnot. Yeah. So I definitely see that happening, and I think like what you guys been talking about, we're just at the very beginning of these. Of this era.
It's already happening now.
Virtual,
like Studio Ghibli. Studio Ghibli has a VR experience. Have you guys heard that?
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know about that.
You can tour Studio Ghibli like via VR. You like go onto like the website.
Oh yeah, the museum, the museum, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have heard about that. Right. Yeah.
So museum. Imagine that tour. Imagine that tour with like the voice actors. Imagine the voice actors took you on that tour. But it's still VR. It's live. It's synchronized. You pay your money. You go there with all the cast of like your favorite Studio Ghibli things with the actors. Like imagine the pull that like Angelina Jolie would give to be like, hey, VR wise, I'm gonna take you on set behind the scenes of the Eternals movie. And it's like on set. It's like on set. We're gonna go behind the scenes of the Eternals movie. We're gonna talk to the director, and like you are being led by Angelina Jolie.
You could like
that's something that, like, and it's VR. Yeah, I think that's something that like people will pay for, especially if it's like, man, I can turn around and like maybe catch details that they didn't quite scoop out of the way. I'm touring, behind the scenes of the next Star Wars with Poe Dameron. Like he's giving me the tour, and like oh my gosh, is that a new R2D2? Like over there in that corner, didn't you see that? It's like I think that is going to be that's going to bring back a new dimension of excitement.
I'm all for that.
I don't know if they'll do that. Yeah, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, it might initially be costly, but it's going to be the norm
I think it'll be the new normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
many
cons
ways.
will come back, but it'll be these smaller events that will be.
Yes. I don't think
Yeah.
they're not going to come back as
Smaller events in the smaller theaters, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
Also, what makes me sad is the comic stores. Like Jim Lee has this like charity right now, selling his artwork to try to save comic book shops. And let's just be real, I don't think a lot of them are going to survive this, unfortunately.
No.
Although I'm a '90s kid. Like I lived in these comic book stores, like Phil Bars and whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like
It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's really rough.
Save for a few outlets that are mailing out subscriptions. I don't know how the rest of the how other outlets of this industry are going to pull through.
Right.
But yeah, it is what it is, and people are doing what they. I think people are doing what they can to keep hope alive and keep the flame of pop culture.
Yeah, it's a Toys R Us thing, but on the mass level, you know. It's like everyone kind of cried when Jeffrey the Giraffe got put in the ground. It was like, okay, it's happening everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's the death of our.
He got resurrected like Electra. Yeah. Like
sort of. Quite the same giraffe as before.
You know,
He's seen
black
shit.
sky, like Jeffrey the Black Sky. Yeah, but you know what? It's crazy. I bet they're going to go out of business again. They came back to this.
Toys R Us. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they came back. They came back really strong in like Canada last year, and they were gonna like be a thing. Like they were gonna grow slowly from there.
You know,
sorry, Jeffrey.
Oh my goodness. You know, because Toys R Us had a really awesome branch that was open in Times Square. I don't know if you've been there before, Fred, but inside this Toys R Us had like it was like four floors altogether, and at the top floor they had a huge robotic model of the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, and you could hear
was it life size? Was like its actual size supposed to be?
Yes, it was like almost the actual size of the
holy shit
of the actual
amazing
dino in the movie.
Did it make like noise? Made like sound effects and stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the Rock.
Jesus Christ.
That's a great place to end it on our dinosaur. That's full circle, guys.
Oh my goodness.
That T-Rex is now extinct. He's extinct again.
Guys, if Jurassic Park has taught us anything, is that dinosaurs are never truly extinct. You know, there's always the hope.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Resurrection.
Yeah, people will keep going to Jurassic Park. Like, I got 2 tickets to Jurassic Park for the kids. It's like, you know, a place where people die.
Yeah, right. It's like Jurassic World. It's like, why are there so many people in this murder zone?
Yeah, it's a completely controlled
Jurassic World.
It's like the last film even ended off with the last film. They ended up like even starting to clone some crazy people that ended up cloning his own daughter. That was some messed up shit. Was that some messed up shit or what?
Yeah.
Goodness. Oh.
Well,
are we going to talk about dinosaurs again in the next episode? Is that what that means?
No. I think
unless we see a reboot of the reboot release on Netflix or somewhere. But
Jurassic World 3 is freaking happening, boys. Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Those clone dinosaurs are taking over Arizona or whatever.
Okay,
because they're out in the world. They're out in the real world now.
Yeah. We got other shows. This is gonna be a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to thank you guys. Wendell, thank you so much.
It was fun chatting with you guys. We're gonna be. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Noel. It
was fun.
Really,
Wendell, hi. It's me, Emily, also known as the Armorer from The Mandalorian. I know, you see my face and you're like, what? I don't know who you are, but this usually